Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel Physics with Essential. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe the channel, and if you like the content of the video, please do not forget to press the like button because this gives me more motivation so that I can bring more number of videos for you. So let's start with today's topic. Today's topic is motion under gravity, correct? And I'm going to show you how to solve each and every problem, whether it is a simple problem or a critical problem, okay, by using a general trick, and you can solve every problem within a moment, correct? So let's start the topic. Before going to come to the topic directly, let me tell you one important thing. We know some of the important formula related to uniform acceleration. The formula related to uniform acceleration, acceleration or accelerated motion. Okay. We know two different formulas, correct? Number one, A is equal to ut last half A T square. We have to remember in this case, these are all actually vector equation, correct? So actual equation is this. A is vector is equal to u into t plus half A T square. Here, S represents displacement, U represents initial velocity, T represents time, which is obviously a scalar, and A represents constant acceleration. Number two, we know this formula, V equal to U plus A. An actual formula is this, V vector equal to U vector plus A vector into T. Here V represents final velocity. And third formula is this, V dot V, U dot U plus 2A dot S, correct? Since A dot A is a square, we write it V square equal to U square plus 2A S, correct? Now these are the three formulas which I'm going to use over here, correct? Why? Because motion under gravity is an uniform accelerated motion. So you have to remember all these things, correct? These are all vectors. So I'm going to show you the application of this formula in this particular topic. So let me tell you something, correct? The thing which you have to keep in mind is this. That is called sign convention. Actually, you don't have to remember it. It is very usual and you people are quite familiar with this. For example, look at this. This is the level from which I am throwing anything upward or downward, correct? For example, suppose this is the level from where a man throws anything in upward direction. So if anything goes upward, that means positive direction of y-axis, so we'll consider that positive. And if anything goes downward, okay, that is moving along negative direction of y-axis, we'll consider this positive. So this is positive and this is negative. So anything which goes above the level of throw, we'll consider positive. Anything goes below the level of throw, we'll consider that as negative. Now, whether a body is going up or down, what we know, acceleration due to gravity always acts downward, correct? Is the direction of G. So remember, in all these formulas, we'll consider A is equal to minus G. You have to remember this. Whether you throw the ball in upward direction or it is in downward direction, the sign of G is always negative, correct? It is never be positive, correct? Now, let's start showing some important conception related with this. And after teaching each and every conception, I will show some of the beautiful application of those conceptions, correct? So number one, take this. I am writing this as case one. A ball is thrown vertically upward. Okay. Now, what we know, if we throw anything upward, the gravity tries to pull it in downward direction. As a result of which, as it goes up, its velocity slowly decreases. Correct? So you have to keep remembering some of the important facts. When anything goes up at maximum height, the velocity of the ball is zero. It is very simple. If you throw anything upward, as it goes up, gravity pulls it downward. So as a result of, since the force is acting downward, its velocity will slowly decreases and ultimately it becomes zero. As soon as it reaches zero, that means a point comes where the body is at instantaneous rest and then it starts falling down. That means falling down. So that is the point where it reaches the maximum time. Correct. Now I'm going to show you how to calculate all those values. Correct. Number two. Suppose if you throw the ball, it goes up and then comes down. Correct. The total taken to goes up and down is called total journey time, which is called time of flight. Time taken by the ball to complete the entire journey is called time of flight. Okay. Number three, when you are throwing the ball upward, it goes up. So it takes some certain time to reach the maximum height. And then it starts falling down and reaches the ground. So the time during which it goes up is called time of ascent. And the time during which it goes down is called time of descent. Correct? So time taken by the ball to which the maximum height is called time of ascent and the time taken by the ball to reach the ground from its maximum height is called time of descent. So these are the three important things we have to keep remembering, correct? So now let's start doing some important derivations related to this, and then I'm going to show you some problems related to this. Now, think for a moment. Suppose a body is thrown up, okay, from the ground. So this is the ground level, okay, and as you throw the ball upward, what will happen? Suppose a person is throwing this ball upward, okay. Suppose a person is throwing a ball in upward direction, okay. Now what will happen? This will go up, okay, this will go up, reaches to a peak value, and then it will come back, okay. Then it will come back. If we neglect the air resistance, it will actually follow the same path in backward direction. But in order to make it more convenient, to look the diagram more clear, so I am drawing it like this. So this is the total thing, correct? Now, let u is the velocity with which the body is thrown. Upward. Okay. Now, this is the maximum height reached by the ball. Let me draw it. This is the value of the maximum height. Okay. So this is the value of the H max. Okay. Now, what to do with that? Since you are throwing this ball upward with a velocity q, I told you this earlier, take this level as the reference one. You are throwing the ball above the reference level, that means it should be positive. So you have to consider the sign of u as positive. Okay, now about this maximum height, H max is what? Above the level, so it should be positive, correct? Clear? What is the sign of G? A equal to minus G always. So first of all, let me try to find out. Number one, the maximum height reached by the ball. So look, in this case, which equation I have to use, correct? Now look at this, v square equal to u square plus 2as. At maximum height, what we know? V equal to 0. That means V is known to us, correct? U is also given. So U is also known to us, and we need to find out the value of H max. That means S is unknown. A is also known to us. So this equation is suitable, correct? So using this equation, V square equal to U square plus 2AS. What is the value of V? 0. What is the value of U? U should be positive. That means U square plus 2. What is the value of A? Minus G. And this H max, correct? So what is the value? H max equal to U square by 2G. This is the formula for the maximum height. Okay. Look, in this case, another interesting thing is this. Since we're throwing the ball in vertically upward direction or vertical downward direction, this topic is also called vertical projectile. Motion of vertical projectile. Okay. So this is number 1. Now let us try to find out number 2. What is that? Time taken to reach the maximum height. So time taken to reach the maximum height. What is that? Okay, let us consider this as T1. Okay. Now I'm going to use this formula V equal to U plus AT. At maximum height, V equal to what? 0. U is already known to us and that is positive. Plus A is always negative minus G and T is T1. So T1 equal to U by G. Okay. Now, let us try to find out time of flight. Okay. Time of flight. Now, be carefully in this case. In order to find out time of flight, I'm going to use this equation. S equal to ut plus half at square. Now, time of flight means you're throwing this ball from here and this ball goes up and return back to your hand. So what is the value of displacement in this case? Because I told you this is a vector S. This actually represents distance, displacement, not distance. So S in this case is 0. You are throwing the ball upward, U is positive, A is minus G. So let us use this equation. 0 equal to U, let T be the time of flight, plus half minus G into T square. Now what to do with that? We have to consider T common. If I take T common, this is U minus half of GT is equal to 0. Now, obviously T cannot be 0. T equal to 0 means the moment you are just throwing the ball, correct? Clear? T equal to 0 means that. So this cannot be the answer. So another possibility is this, U minus GT, half GT is equal to 0. Therefore, what we can write, T is equal to, therefore, I'm writing here, please watch it carefully. Therefore, T equal to 2U by G. Correct? Now, a very interesting question is this now. What is the time taken by the ball to reach from the maximum height to the ground? Correct? Now, watch it carefully again. Now I'm going to show you what is the time taken by the ball. Time taken by the ball. This is for time of flight. This is number 3. And number 4 is time taken by the ball to reach the ground from maximum height. What is that? Okay, look. Total journey time is 2u by g. And time taken to reach the maximum height is u by g. So what I can write, if t2 be the time taken by the ball to reach the ground from its maximum height, so that should be equal to total time minus time taken to reach the maximum height. So what is that? 2u by g minus u by g, that is simply u by g. So what it proves? T1 is equal to T2, that is time of ascent is equal to time of descent. Clear? Descent. Okay. So these are the derivations which are very, very important, but more derivations I'm going to show you related to this. Now, the next topic is, what is the velocity with which the ball will hit the ground? Correct? That's a very important concept again. What is the velocity with which the ball will hit the ground? Clear? So let me clear up this first. Look at this. Let v is the velocity with which the ball will hit the ground. Correct. Now, look at this. I'm not going to show you. I will not put any sign for v. It will automatically come out. Correct. Look at this. What I'm doing, I'm using this formula. V equal to u plus g into t. Ball is thrown vertically upward. Listen very carefully. It is thrown vertically upward. It will go up and comes back again. Correct? So what I'm writing, what I'm doing, writing v as it is. Since u is directed vertically up, it is obviously positive, and this should be, is not g, this is minus here, this is a. Okay, and what is a? We know that is minus g. And what is t in this case? Time taken to move from here and comes back again, that is time of flight, which is nothing but 2u by g. So now, if we calculate this, v equal to u minus 2u, that is v equal to minus u. What does that mean? If I apply the vector notation, what does that mean? That means v equal to minus of u. That means both of these velocity are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. That means it will come back to the ground with the same speed, but in opposite direction to u. Correct? Now, next thing is this. What is the time taken by the ball to reach half the maximum height? Okay. What is the time taken? What is the time taken by the ball to reach half the maximum height? Okay. So let's do this. Correct? Okay. Suppose this is the point where it reaches half the maximum height. That means this is h, and this h is nothing but h max by 2. Okay. Now look at here. We are going to apply this formula. A is equal to ut plus half at square. Now A is equal to, let us write this as h. Okay. Now u is what? This t plus half at square. Correct? Minus half g t square. Now watch it carefully. What is h? H equal to h max by 2. And what is the value of maximum height reached? Value of the maximum height is u square by 2g. Correct? So value of the maximum height is u square by 2g. Correct? That is, it is nothing but u square by 4g. Because we know this, v square equal to u square plus 2gh, u square equal to 2gh, h is equal to u square by 2g. Now let us replace this value by this, u square by 4g is equal to u into t minus half gt square. Now let's simplify this. U square minus is equal to 4u gt minus, if I multiply this will come like this, 4g to cancel 2g t square, g square, correct? Therefore, we can write it like this, 2g square t square plus minus 4ugt plus minus u square is equal to 0. Sorry, plus u square is equal to 0. Correct? Now watch it. It's a quadratic equation. There are only two values of t. What are those values? T1 is equal to applying Siddhartha rule minus b, that is 4u, plus minus, okay. Let us write it first t and then I will break it on t1 and t2. Okay. Let us write t, this as t first and then I will break it in t1 and t2. Minus b plus minus b is what? 4ug minus b plus minus root over of b square. What is that? 16u square g square minus 4ac, that is minus 4u square u square into ac 2g square by 2a, that is 2 into 2g square. Okay. Now let's find the value of each of this. Let's find the value of each of this. I'm not actually erasing this diagram because this will help you a lot to understand the concept. Okay. So look at this. If I simplify the value for t is equal to 4ug plus minus 16u square g square minus 8u square g square, that is root over of 8u square g square by 4g square. I can take 4 out of this bracket, so this will come 4ug. So plus minus 2ug root 2 divided by 4g square. Now look, 2 get cancelled, g get cancelled. So answer will be 2ug plus minus u plus minus, look, g get cancelled, 2 get cancelled. So thing will rate root 2u divided by 2g. Now you can take 2u common from this or root 2u common from this. If I take root 2u common from this, the thing will become root 2 into g minus of 1 plus minus 1 by 2g. Okay. Now there are two values of t and look, both are valid. There are two values of t and both are valid. Why? The question answer comes like this, correct? That is the concept here. So let me show you again why it is so. T1 is this √2u √2g plus 1 divided by 2g, and T2 is equal to √2u √2g minus 1 by 2g. None of this is negative, so each of the values is possible. Now, the very interesting thing is, out of T1 and T2, which is lesser? Look, T1 is greater than T2. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of T1 and what is the meaning of T2? Look, T2 is the time during which it will reach to the half the maximum height during its upward journey. And T2 is the time from the starting point where it will again reaches to half the maximum height, but before its downward journey. Correct? Now let me do one thing. Please add this T1 and T2. If I do that, what is that? √2u by 2g is equal to √g plus 1 plus √2g minus 1. If I do this calculation, 1 get cancelled. That is √2u by 2g, and here is √2 plus √2, 2 √2 into g. Now look, √2, these two get cancelled with this. So answer is what? 2u by g, which is nothing but the time of flight. Is it clear? So this is a very, very important concept, correct? So this is the time by which you can find out at what time the ball is at half the maximum time. You will get two values of t, one during its the smaller value during its upward journey, and the larger value at the same height during its downward journey. Okay. Now similarly, a question comes like this: what is the time taken to reach any general height? What is the time taken to reach any general height? So let me clearly write down. So what to do? Nothing. A is equal to ut plus half at square. You have to use this. And the question is, what is the time taken to reach any general height? What is the time taken to reach any general height? So what to do? Since it is going up, okay, take it as h, u is positive, t is this, plus half minus g into t square. Correct? From here, we'll get again a quadratic equation of 2h is equal to 2ut minus gt square. Okay, arrange it properly. Gt square minus 2ut plus 2h is equal to 0. Okay, therefore t is equal to minus b, that is this, plus minus root over of b square, 4u square minus 4ac, 8gh. Okay, divided by 2a, that is 2g. There are two values of t, one during its upward journey, other during its downward journey. Okay. So this is the concept when a body is thrown vertically upward and it will goes to the highest point and reaches to the ground again. So this is the all the derivations I have shown to you. Now I'm going to show you an important some of the few of the important problems related to this, so your conception can be fully clear. Correct? Okay. Let's start. Suppose a question is given like this. A ball is thrown vertically upward. Okay. Let me draw this line. Suppose a person is throwing a ball in vertically upward direction. With a velocity u, projecting upward. Okay. Given the maximum height attained by the ball is h max. Okay. But you have to find out number one, the time at which the ball, will have half of its maximum speed. Number two, the time or the displacement of the ball when its speed becomes half the maximum speed. So question is this. Okay, it is given. Okay, now what we know, when we are projecting the ball, that is the time when the velocity is maximum, that is u is maximum. So how to solve it? Look at this. Let's draw the journey first. It will go up like this and it will come down like this. Suppose this is the instant when the ball reaches to half of its maximum speed. Now half of its maximum speed, look, during this, it will possess a speed u by 2 upward, and during this point, it will possess a speed u by 2 downward. Correct? Means if I take the point of projection as A, this point as B and C. At B, it is going up, so direction of velocity is upward direction. At C, it is going down, so direction of velocity is this. Let T1 and T2 be the time during at which the ball has half the maximum speed. Okay. Now I am going to apply this formula. Look, V equal to U plus AT. Now, wait and watch carefully please. At A, V equal to the final velocity and it is directed upward. So sine of it would be plus U by 2. Okay. Now I'm going to apply this formula. V equal to U plus AT. What is V? V is U by 2. This U, A is always minus G and T is T1. T1 is what? U minus U by 2. That is U by 2. Okay. So, look, T1 equal to U by 2. Okay. Let me check it. T1 is equal to U by 2. Clear. Okay. Now again is at C. Okay. What is the velocity? V equal to, now it is directed downward, minus u by 2. So apply the same formula again, v equal to u plus 80. Put the value for v, now it is minus u by 2. It is u is minus gt2. So if we do this calculation, what will be the value of t2? I made a mistake here. G u by 2, it is gt1. This will be u by 2g. Correct. Now, if I do the same thing here, this will be t2 is equal to 3u by 2g. Is it clear? Clear. So this is the technique by which we can able to find out the time when it reaches half of its maximum speed. Correct? Now the next task is, what is the displacement? Now look, at this point, when it is reaches to half of the maximum height, is okay. We need to find out the value of s, correct here. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to apply the formula v square equal to u square plus 2as. What is the advantage of using that formula here, correct? Look at this. V, in this case, you can write it is plus or minus u. Because once it is, when it is going up, the sign is plus, and when it is going down, sign is minus. So I am writing v is equal to plus minus u by 2. Now I am applying this formula, v square equal to u square plus 2as. Okay, v square equal to u square plus 2as. Look. So sorry, v square equal to v square equal to u square plus 2as. What is the value of v? Plus minus u by 2 whole square. What is this u square? We know a is always minus g in this case, and s represent what? Displacement in this case, correct? So what we can write, u square by 4 equal to u square minus 2gs. So 2gs is equal to what? U square by 4, that is 3u square by 4. Okay. Now s is equal to, therefore, 3u square by 2g, this, correct? Clear? Now, what is the formula for maximum height? We know h max equal to u square by 2g. So we can write it like this: 3 by 4 u square by 2g, and that is nothing but 3 by 4 h max. Okay, so this is the technique of solving this sum, correct? So let me show you another problem related to this motion, correct? Okay. Let me clear it first. Suppose, take this question. Okay. Suppose there is a tower. I don't know the height of the tower. Let me write down that by h. Let me represent that by h. Okay. And okay, these are, let's take this question. Okay. A man is throwing a ball in vertical upward direction with a speed of 20 meters per second. Given it returns to the ground after 6 seconds. Find the height of the tower. So look, what to do? As I told you earlier also, this is the level of throw. Anything above this is considered to be positive. Anything below this considered to be negative. Correct? Now, in this case, we need to find out the value of h. Look, u is given. U is plus 20 meter per second because it is going up. In this case, g is equal to 10 meter per second square. Okay. What is a? We know it is always minus g. Clear? And it is given, it returns to the ground. That means it throws to, so it moves up, again comes down. So total time taken for the journey is 6 seconds. So t is nothing but 6 seconds. So what you have to find out? We have to find out h. That means, look, we have to apply then which formula? S equal to ut plus half of at square. What is S in this case? Look, you have to be careful about this. This ball goes up, comes down. When it is at this position, from means at the level of throw, displacement is 0. And I told you earlier, S represents displacement. Now it goes down. That means below the level of throw. That means displacement is negative. So we need to do what? We need to replace this S by minus of h. U is what? 20. What is the value of t given? 6 plus half. What is the value of a? That is minus g into t square. So now let's solve it. Minus h, 20 into 6, 120. Minus half, g is 10. Made a mistake. It is not. Sorry. Okay. 20 into 6. Okay. And this is 6 square. So 20 into 6 is 120. Minus half, g is 10 into 6 square is 36. So if I cancel this out, it should be 18. So minus h is equal to 120 minus 180. Therefore, minus h is equal to minus 60. Hence, h is equal to 60 meter. Look at this. It is so simple. Okay. Now, let's solve another problem related to this. Okay. Okay. Let's take this problem. Correct. Suppose there is a building of height 25 meters. A man is throwing a ball with a speed of 25 meter per 20 meter per second in vertical upward direction. And suppose we need to find the maximum height attained by the ball measured from ground. Number 2, the time taken by the ball to reach the ground. Number 3, the speed with which the ball will strike the ground. Okay. Now, for a moment, look at this problem in this way. Find the maximum height. So, how the ball will go? It will move up like this, and it will fall like this. Is it clear? So, what to do here? Look at the problem, and first, watch it. At this point, the velocity is 0. So let us solve the first part of the problem. At maximum height, v equal to 0. Clear? And applying this formula, v square equal to u square plus 2as. V equal to 0. I told you this earlier many times. Key, always take this is the reference level because this is the level of throw. What is throwing upward? So u is positive, it is given 20. So it should be 20 square plus 2, a is minus 10, and s is the h. Okay, that means this value. So if I calculate this thing, so what would be that? 400 minus 20h. So h is equal to this minus. So this will be equal to h is equal to 20 meter. So maximum height reached attained by the ball measured from the ground. So height measured from the ground is 25 plus 20, it is 45 meter. Is it clear? This is the first part. Okay, the maximum height attained by the ball measured from the ground. Okay. Now what we have to find out? We have to find out the time taken by the ball to reach the ground. Okay. Now look here carefully again. Throwing the ball from this point in upward direction. It is moving up, comes to this point, displacement is 0. Now it goes down. So displacement is negative. So applying this formula, A is equal to ut plus half a t square. What is S? S is the displacement. Now this is the level of throw and ball ultimately comes here. So displacement is minus 25. What is the value of u? Throwing upward, that is 20. T we have to find out. Plus half, what is A? It is minus G. So minus 10 into T square. Correct? So now look, it is also a quadratic equation in T, and we have to get the value of, we have to calculate the value of T. So let's do the calculation. Minus 25, it is 20T, and this is minus 5T square. So if I do it like write it like this, minus 5T square, take it this side, minus 20T minus 25 equal to 0. Take 5 common, T square minus 40 minus 5 is equal to 0. 5T square this side positive, minus 20T minus 40. So if I do the calculation, T square 40 minus T minus 5. Okay, sorry. T square minus 5T. T square minus 5T plus T minus 5 equal to 0. correct? So if I take t common, t minus 5 plus t common, 1 common, t minus 5 is equal to 0. So t minus 5 into t plus 1 is equal to 0. And the question is very, very important. It's very simple. This time cannot be 0. Correct? So time cannot be 0. So we can simply write on this. Since t cannot be 0, so t we are getting 5 and t is equal to minus 1, which is not possible. So time taken to reach the ground is 5 seconds. This is the answer. Okay. Now the next part of the question is, with what speed it will hit the ground? Correct. Now watch it here. That means in this case, we need to find out the speed, that means magnitude. Huh? So suppose it will hit the ground with a speed, say for example, Vf. Okay. So what I'm going to use here, I'm going to use this formula. V square equal to U square plus 2AS. Vf in this case is what? V in this case is what actually? Minus Vf whole square. U is positive. What is that? 20 square. Plus 2. What is A? Minus 10. And what is AS? Be careful. Huh? It is below the level of throw. So it is minus 25. Now, in this way, if I calculate this Vf square, it is 400 minus plus 25 to the 50, 500. Okay, that is 900. That means Vf is equal to root 900. Root 900 means 30 into 30. That means with a speed of 30 meters per second. Clear? So this is the answer. Okay. So now our next topic. So I had shown you many sums and many problems related to a thing when a body is projected vertically upward, either it is from ground or from a tower. Now I'm going to show you the concept related with free fall. So topic is free fall.